here's a battle against Gabepokemon, I guess? I'm not sure. I tried to figure out how to pronounce it, but all he kept saying was his name in the Zat, so it's whatever. So I send out Excelgor, and he has Skarmory. I go ahead and set up spikes, because I know he's going to set up his entry hazards. And here I make a mistake. I should have encored, but I didn't. I decided to just set up more entry hazards. So he gets off Stealth Rocks and now spikes. So I don't really want to encore now, so I switch out to T-Tar. Try and take out Skarm. Another mistake. I should have just gone for Fire Punch here, but instead I go for Dragon Dance, not expecting Whirlwind. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Yeah. So he Whirlwinds, and I'm like, oh yay, completely worthless move on my part. And he sends in my Lucario, which gets decently hurt by the entry axe. Not really, but it will eventually. So I close combat for some decent damage, because he's Life Orbed, and max attack. Now the thing is, I expected him to Whirlwind instead of Spikesing, so that's why I did close combat. I would have done Swords Dance if I would have predicted him to not do Whirlwind. And then here I close combat again, expecting him to Whirlwind, and instead he switches, which I should have Sword Dance to also, but oh well. Yeah, don't do anything to Dragonite. It's now -2 and almost half health, so I'm going to go ahead and switch out to Suicune. I have Ice Beam. Takes a bunch of damage from the entry hazards, and then he Fire Blasts, which was meant for Lucario. Suicune takes it, not as, I think he took it well, but because of the entry hazards, it's like, oh, Suicune's not looking so good. And here I Ice Beam, expecting him to stay in to try and kill my Suicune. I guess it was Specs or Scarfed, not sure. But here's an awesome thing that happens. I get a crit, which doesn't mean anything, but I do get Freeze. Apparently it was Gabe's first 5th gen Freeze ever, and it's gonna last for 5 turns. So, pretty awesome. Considering he's frozen, I go ahead and rest, because even if for some reason he unthawed like that, I don't really care if Suicune would have died there, because if I'd have switched him out, he'd have died on entry anyway, or almost died, so I rest. And then I switch out to Golurk, just in case he unfreezes and tries to do Volt Switch right there, or whatever he was going to do. And he stays frozen, so no reason for Golurk to have even come in. So I go ahead and substitute, because I figure, he's already frozen. He's been frozen. Maybe he'll stay frozen. If not, oh well, my Golurk's as good as dead. But he stays frozen, so it's like, yay, substitute. And here I figure a Focus Punch will kill him, so if he unfreezes, I might lose my sub, but he's gonna die. If he switches out, I'm still gonna do a crap load of damage, so I Focus Punch. And he stays frozen, so I just kill him for free. and he brings in Dragonite. So I just do Shadow Punch because if I switch out, then I lose sub. So it's a free Shadow Punch. Plus I get a little bit more lefties back. So I just stay in Shadow Punch. Does a decent amount of damage. I get lefties. And then I switch out to Lucario because he's got priority moves to take out this really weak Dragonite. Or no, I go back to Suicune, my bad. Lucario's next. I guess just because I want to take the turns off of, the sleep turns off of Suicune, I guess. I'm not really sure what I was thinking here. I made a couple bad plays in the beginning. So yeah, and now here's my dead Suicune. So I'm going to leave him in because it's going to be one more turn of Sandstorm on Dragonite, and he will definitely die for entry hazards if I switch him out, so no reason to keep him. So I got one more turn on Sandstorm for Dragonite, and now I go to Lucario because he's got priority moves that'll just say, hey, it's a super weak Dragonite, it's time to die. I used to not have Life Orb on this guy, but I love it on him now. So he brings in Conkeldurr, and I Extreme Speed just because I figure I'm gonna die, might as well get in a bunch of damage while I can. And I crit, which is awesome. Totally relevant crit. And he bulks up, so I have one more turn anyway. I figure an Extreme Speed will probably kill him. I mean, maybe not, I don't know how bulky he is. But it turns out to be irrelevant because I get another crit. So Gabe thinks that the second crit was relevant. I don't, because of Sandstorm. I think he probably would have died regardless of the crit. But who knows? So I have one more turn on my Lucario. So this is pretty awesome. So he brings in Jolteon, and I'm just going to go for the last Extreme Speed because if I did a non-priority move, I could possibly be slower and die for no reason. Or I go for the priority move and do a crap load of damage anyway. Like, if I went for close combat, I would have killed, but it turns out I'm slower anyway because my Lucario is slower than Excelgor, and as you'll see in a second, his Jolteon's faster than my Excelgor. So it's a good thing I went for Extreme Speed. Yeah, entry hazards just wrecked him right there. But I put defense EVs and HP EVs into him, so he takes that Shadow Ball and says, ha, I live, you're dead. Way to go, semi-bulky guys that aren't supposed to be bulky. So he sends out Skarm again. It's like, he's almost half dead. I'll Focus Blast just because it'll do a lot of damage. Plus, entry hazards would kill Selgor if I switched out. So he's gonna die. He barely lives. And he Whirlwinds into Golurk, I think. So my T-Tar and my Zoroark would have wrecked this team too. But my Zoroark was completely unused in this game. I found that kind of funny. But he gets kind of hurt by the entry hazards. And here's where we have the one-turn Focus Punch, which kind of confuses me. Actually, more than kind of, it really confuses me. But it's like, whatever, I suppose his Skarm was gonna die anyway. Not too sure. Not really sure what he would have done. Maybe a Whirlwind. I don't know. So yeah, and then there's that. Now he's got Regirock. So it's Regirock versus Golurk. And at first, I think I'm slower. And I also think that his Earthquake can kill me. So I just go ahead and say, screw it, I'll Focus Punch for some random reason. And it turns out he's actually slower than I am. Go figure. So it's like, sweet. And I take that Earthquake and, like, don't even care. So now I know that my Earthquake, I don't know if it'll 2-hit him, but I do, like, after this one I figure out, yeah, I'll 2-hit him. And I know I can survive the next Earthquake he does. So that's game over. Good game. Thanks for watching my second video. I think I did a little bit better on this one than I did on my first one. See ya.